TR here. Well, got our parts, and it's time to do some upgrading. Fender switch, 3-way. It's got the correct Tele knob, and got some electronics from StewMac. Pots and capacitors and such, and a jack, and new tuning machines, and I'm going to go with a barrel string tree. That roller one's okay, but I like the barrel string trees. So that's what I'm doing. Knobs off. Starters. Hey, they're actually metal. I thought they might be plastic. They're actually metal. That's a nice thing. One of the things I was worried about is that this cavity will be deep enough to hold that switch. So we're going to find out. I might even just do a test with that right off the bat, and we'll see. Occurs to me this is going to be a painfully long video, so I don't usually video my work. What I like to do is put something down when you do this so you don't mar the finish on the guitar. When I solder, I'll tape a piece of paper right over it. That's one of those hard learned lessons. Drop a solder fall once on a guitar body and mess the finish up. These switches that come with these, they're on these PC boards, and they're not as big as these. That's why it's always, you hold your breath installing it, but I think this is going to fit. So these are what's known officially as shitty little alpha pots. I'm just going to take the whole insides right out for starters, and then move the guitar, and then I'll wire all the new stuff, lay it out just like what this is, so I can measure the length I need for my pieces of wire, and then we'll install it back in this way. This is what's nice about Teles and like Fender, like jazz basses, anything where the electronics are on a plate. It's so handy. You don't have to take the strings off the guitar. You don't need to move anything out of the way. You can work on the electronics, which I like. Okay, you can see now I have the jack out, and here's the dish. This will go back in over top of the new jack. I'm hoping these holes match the size of the Switchcraft jack I got as well. If not, they'll have to be reamed out, but you know, if it is, so be it. Because I want the better jack. The thing with the Switchcraft jack, here, let me zoom in a little bit here. This is terrible. Okay. This camera just isn't going to work for this. The thing with the Switchcraft style jacks is these ones that come in aren't very long through here. Switchcraft is a little longer throw, a little sturdier piece of metal. So the switch is going to last longer, and that's the reason for putting the Switchcraft jack in, which I have that over here somewhere. I'll grab it, see if I can show you the difference. Okay. This also comes into play though with with the guitar with this depth of the socket. There shouldn't be a problem on this, but on Strats it can be because it's longer. But you know, we figure it out and we do our best. This is gonna be a tight fit on here. And I'm gonna have to ream it out a little. I'm hoping I don't need to ream out the piece on the inside. There's a, you see that metal piece on the inside there? Yeah, I'm hoping it fits through that. If I have to ream that one, it's gonna be a real pain in the ass. Reaming this dish won't be so bad. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. It fits through this. So that means the only thing I got to worry about is reaming this out to make it fit. And it doesn't need to go much bigger. It almost fits now. I could probably almost thread it on. But we'll widen it out a little bit. Okay, I got the new switch in, and it fits without hitting the bottom. Yippee-ki-yay. Okay, so what I'm going to do to try and ream this out is I got a little piece of 320 grit sandpaper with some adhesive on it. And I got this screwdriver, which is too big to go through the hole, but it's going to be close to the size I want this to be. So I'm going to kind of wrap this, make like a taper. Stick this in here, and I want a spinner, and hopefully widen this out a little. Let you know how it works. Okay, so here's another trick I like to do. You can pull this up on the computer. You can print them as you need them. But I took the opportunity when I had a good printer to print off some diagrams for various wirings. And I'll just kind of keep them on file and get them out when I need them. So I have my Tele wiring diagram that I will get out for reference. And then we'll get this all laid out and set up the way it needs to go, just like the picture. This is for single coil. I do have one with a humbucker, which Seymour Duncan kind of screwed up because they put a picture of a toggle switch instead of a humbucker. But the wiring's the same. It's not going to make a difference which one's which. They're going to wire the same. But I suppose I'll use the humbucker one because that's what I'm doing. I'm putting the hot rails in, and that's what's already in there. The hot rails for Tele. And there, got my cheat sheet to work off of. I'll lay everything out. I'll just use kind of this as a guide for my spacing for my wires. I may even reuse some of those wires. Probably not the greatest, but I think I might reuse them, especially because it's shielded when going to the input. I think I will reuse that. Okay, I'm going to show something here, if I can. Try and get this on the close-up mode and see if it works better. I don't know. This camera doesn't do close-ups really good. All alpha pots are not created equal. This is what I like to refer to as a shitty alpha pot. And what you can see is collar here on the shaft. It's that corroded looking shitty pot metal. I get these alphas from StuMac. See collar? Brass. They work better. From what I understand, alpha pots are made in, I think, Taiwan and China. Depends on where they come from. I'm guessing the really crappy ones are China and these are Taiwan. And I think CTS pots are made in two places, Mexico and the other one might be Taiwan. Maybe the same place these are. Go figure. Anyways, you'll see this has this little piece sticking up, and that's for if you have a pick guard with a hole in it for it to slide through. I don't. Real easy to deal with. You just bend it flat. and it's out of your way. The beauty of this Tele, like I said with the plate, is I'm going to install these right onto the plate and we'll wire them right up on here. It'll be a holder for me. Okay, another thing I did is I put this on here and I test fitted my knob because these are adjustable height. I need to get back here. I hate this camera. I don't hate it, I like it. I just hate the close-up feature. So what I'm going to do to get the knob where I want is I'm going to count the number of turns. I'm going to move this screw. There's one full turn. I'll grab it and I'll go 1 1/2, 1 1/2, 2, and then I'm going to test fit it on here, and I'm going to see where the knob is when I tighten this down and see if it's going to be the height I wish it to be. It's a little trick to get things to be the way you want them so you're happy with them. And I'll push the knob down and go back to close-up mode. I think I like that for a fit. So 2 full turns. This camera's got like a manual for close-up and distant shots, and to get anything close you gotta flip the switch. It's not digital, it's pure manual switch that actually moves the lens. Okay, so we'll continue on. So there. I have this, and I can begin to solder it with it all right in place. I did find I'm going to have one little issue with these full-size pots fitting. I was concerned side to side if they'd fit. They do. The problem is this one kind of wants to hit the back, and this doesn't quite want to go where it needs to go, so I think I'm going to need to move just a little bit of material from the cavity to accommodate the back of this. It's not a big deal. Just take a Dremel and remove a little bit. Done it before. Here I'll show you. You line this hole up here. This doesn't quite want to go down. If we put this in, this is kind of just hitting the pick guard a little. So you need to take just a little bit right there. Not too much because I don't want to compromise that screw hole. But I think I'm good to do it. I want to give it a shot. Okay, you can see I have this all masked off. A little extra protection. And carefully, I have this, close up again. Yeah, let's use it, we got it. I have this round sanding disc for the Dremel, and it should be just about the same curvature, same shape as the pot. I'm hoping. Wish me luck. Trick is to go slow a little bit at a time. Very little, I'll test fit it. Then I'll go very little more and test fit it. And you know what? That did the trick. Done. Don't need to take any more. Just that little teeny bit. I'm just going to fit right in there now. The holes are going to line up. Beautiful. Now what I could do, could seal that with a little bit of paint of some sort, but I don't know if I'm going to bother. I'll make sure I went down far enough with that too. But I obviously did because it's going to... I've got a new piece of shielded wire here I'm going to use as the input because it seems a heavier gauge and, you know, less resistance. Just think of it as like having a higher quality guitar cord, lead, or whatever you want to call it. People across the pond call it a lead, call it a guitar cord. In either case, we're going to solder this on. I may use the other wires because I don't have any color coded one. The only wire I have is black. Yeah, I know they make tools for this, right? Oh, fucking wind. Oh hey, I'm doing some soldering here. I kind of took off without you. I really need a new tip for this soldering iron. I put my StewMac order and I forgot to order them. So it's in rough shape. It's kind of tricky using it, but I'm managing. Tin my wires on this ground wire. Put solder on it, heat it up, let the solder run in. I got rosin coated solder. I've been meaning to get some flux because I think it actually works better if you use flux. But, oh well. This is how we're working it. Just a little tractor going by there. There's a little dab of solder on this pot. So I got something to solder this wire into. What I'm doing right here is I'm just connecting my grounds. My diagram showed the ground wire from the jack going to here and then a jumper going to here, but the way the other one was wired was this. It's the same difference. I mean, both pots are going to be connected at the ground. And that's basically that. Another thing I like to do is that as I go along with this is I like to get out my tester and test things. So I got to set for continuity. You see the meter will go to 0. So I just connected these ground wires. I want to make sure they're connected and they get 0. And then what I'll do is I'll touch the inside of the sleeve of my jack and the ground, and I get 0. So I know that's connected right. Now I'll touch the tip with where I connected the tip to. Is there. And also get 0. So I have continuity there. Now the big thing to make sure I don't even short it out, I can touch the tip to the ground and there should not be contact. And there isn't. You're getting a high resistance reading, and that's because it's reading the resistance through my fingers. Well, through this pot too, I suppose, because let me turn the pot off. Nah. Then it goes to ground as it should, and then with the pot on fully. Yeah, okay. I believe that's correct. I don't know. Is it looking like something? I think it is. Just about ready to put it in the guitar and hook it up, and then we'll see if it works. Cross your fingers. Ooh, let's do the focus thing. See? It goes out of focus when I go away, and then that comes back in. Bring it up close. May or may not focus okay, but if I do this, it focuses up close. Hey, you know what? It's an $80 video camera, so we're not going to complain, are we? No, we're not. Okay, I have my operating field set up here. We don't have any mishaps or boo-boos to mess up my finish on my guitar. As I mentioned before, lesson learned the hard way. Coincidentally, it was on a Tele. One little drop of solder and there you go. A messed up spot on your finish that will be there forever. Let the iron warm up here, and I'm going to wire ground from the bridge to the ground from the pickups to the ground, and neck pickup will go there and the bridge pickup will go here, and then we'll put it back together and let's hope it makes some noise. Okay, we got it all packed in here. Moment of truth. Okay, that's the bridge. Middle. Neck. Now let's test the tone control. Guess we put it back together and fire it up and see if it plays, huh? this thing for a spin. Well, sorry, didn't mean to shortchange you, but I installed the new tuning machines off camera. But anyways, here they are. I'm pretty happy with them. I usually am with these Godos. So, and I also put on my barrel string tree. So, that's it for that one. TR out.